Alright everyone, we're back again with another tea video. Today we're bringing you 8 Immortals from West China Tea. This tea is quite pricey, as you can see, $9.99 for 10 grams, so about $1 a gram. Weighing it out here, that's everything in the bag, coming out to just over 7. So yeah, considering it's $1 a gram, they shorted me, a couple bucks worth. It is what it is, I guess. But I got this as part of the 8 Immortals flight from West China Tea. I think overall getting the flight saves you like $3. So not a ton, but definitely a little bit of a saving if you can get a hold of it. It is sold out right now, as well as I believe their 8 Immortals and Thunderstruck are sold out at the moment, but they still have the Pomelo aged 8 Immortals. But today, focusing on the 8 Immortals, this classic medium oxidized loose leaf version of 8 Immortals crossing the ocean with cool floral and fruity notes. Look at the top here. 8 Immortals Crossing the Ocean is a classic and celebrated varietal of the Phoenix Single Bush Dankong Oolong. We have it in 3 forms: original, struck by lightning flavor, and stuffed into the skin of a giant citrus fruit and aged. This flight includes 10-gram samples of each. I was hoping to split this into 2 sessions of 5 grams. I still might just split this in half and do whatever that amount is, just because I would like to have multiple sessions of this. So I will be right back. I'm going to just kind of eyeball it, split it in half, and we will work with that. Alright, we will be doing a wash on this, just barely covering the leaves probably. And we are doing that at 206 degrees Fahrenheit as suggested on the bag. It'll be as quick as I can do it. Just a little baby wash. And I might even drink it. This is an expensive tea. It's kind of a crazy price, especially being shorted a few grams, which I can attribute, like, I have let it sit around. I can attribute like a half gram, maybe tops, to moisture loss, but it was like shorted about 3 grams. I don't think about 30% of the bag weight being missing is moisture loss. I don't know, it's just annoying because it's a very small amount of tea I got and essentially missing 30%. Normally I wouldn't be too upset about it, but it's that much less tea I get to drink. So this looks pretty nice, even though it's just a wash. Very clear, light in color. Let me do a dry scent profile on the leaves real quick before we move on any further. Smells really nice. It's that classic roasty oolong scent. A bit of a sweetness to it, definitely, which I really appreciate. I think that really balances out that roasty oolong scent. And there's a bit of a floral smell, I feel like, going on that dry scent. I don't even know if this oolong's roasted. I'm not sure how oolong is processed, but I always feel like it smells kind of roasted. As opposed to smoked, or as opposed to, sun-dried or something like that. It just has kind of a nutty, I don't know, roasty aroma. The wet leaves smell really nice too. I'd say about the same aroma. All in all, just more. It's just magnified because it's been kind of woken up, and there's a bit of a kind of an astringent note that's present now. But I think I'm going to try the wash while I'm here, just because I'm cheap and I don't want to waste it. No, but really, I don't know if every tea necessarily needs a wash. And sometimes I do think it's valuable to still at least give it a taste. Some teas, like a show pour, I think it's probably not valuable to taste that wash, and it probably does need a wash because they're aged and maybe on the floor. Who knows where they've been? Who knows what critters have gotten into them? So I think it's worth pouring boiling water on it first, getting that poured off, and then actually getting into the tea. Whereas this is probably treated differently, so I'm not too afraid of it. Kind of like if you get like, you know, normal Western style tea bags and whatnot. Like, you don't do a wash for any of that. A good texture on it already. Quite a moderate body. The flavor is not quite there yet as far as the wash goes. A little bit of nuttiness poking through, a little bit of roastiness, but very, very mild. But I will say the texture is already pretty good. Already pretty moderate to like full body. But now we'll get that actual first steep going. Still 206 degrees Fahrenheit as suggested by the bag. I'll have to finish off these other West China tea ones I got going. I still got this little tube I've only done one out of, as well as what is it? Thunderstruck, which is a pretty interesting story to that one. And then this 2016 Pomelo aged 8 Immortals, which from what I saw, West China Tea still has available a couple different variants of the Pomelo aged. I think they had a 2010 and 2016, although one of them they only had like the largest size available, and it was like in the hundreds of dollars, so be aware of that. And I think the other one was like $30, so definitely wasn't cheap, but it's all seemingly pretty high quality tea. They seem to be out of a lot of stock. I wonder if they're currently in China procuring product, or they might be having trouble because of tariffs, unfortunately. I'm not too sure, but this is a place I do suggest to a lot of people with a U.S. warehouse, just to hopefully bypass tariffs, because I'm sure they at least have some stock stateside for now. As to how long that's going to last, I'm not too sure. But, you know, for now, take advantage of the stateside stock if you are worried about tariffs, and, you know, order what you can. I'm not sure what's going to go on with that, if it's going to keep going, if they're going to pull back on it. I haven't actually looked into it in the past couple days, so maybe it's adjusted. Who knows? But, yeah, definitely keep an eye out. There's a few U.S. local warehouses available. West China Tea, Yunnan Sourcing has a pretty limited warehouse. Jesse's Tea House has a local warehouse. Crimson Lotus has a local warehouse. The Steeping Room. And then you got, who else? Liquid Prost. He's out of Ohio. He has his own website, and then he sells his tea off of Etsy. He's pretty good, which I haven't done a video on, but I do have some of his teas. I'll have to do those coming up. But, yeah, those are some available if you're U.S.-based and looking for a U.S. warehouse that you might be able to bypass tariffs for now. Hopefully they still got some stuff in stock when I'm making this video. All right, let's give that first steep a taste. Very light. Very nice, though. At first, it's, let me take another sip. Yeah, very mouth-drying. So at first it wasn't mouth-drying, especially during that wash, but now quite mouth-drying. But really nice. It's like a nice roasty, nutty flavor. No astringency, very mouth-drying, very full body. And there's like a nice background sweetness. It's pairs really nicely with that roastiness. Let's try a second steep. All right. Here's that second steep. Alright, a little bit of particulates made it through, but still overall very, very clear. Nice deep color, nice deep amber. Leaves are looking nice. This is a slightly oxidized oolong, I believe, not a full oxidized. So still a little bit of greenness in some of them, a little bit of red. Still smells about the same. Really nice smell. I do like the smell of this tea for sure. Let's leave the lid off. So I did look up some pricing to compare, just because I was curious. I've never bought 8 Immortals before. It appears, let's see, Yunnan Sourcing, US has it. Not a ton of reviews on it. $12 for 25 grams. They're the cheapest one I found for a spring 2024 one. Otherwise, pricing for the most part seems to actually be pretty close to West China tea. Mayleaf, which various people online didn't, outside of Mayleaf's reviews, didn't suggest. I'm not sure. A lot of people hate on Mayleaf for, whatever their reasons are. But their pricing was a little cheaper, still not very cheap, at 71 cents a gram. And then obviously you're paying for shipping. And then I did see it over at... Where else did I see it? I believe those are the only places I saw it of tea vendors that I've used. There are various other tea vendors popping up for it, but I'm not familiar with them. So, take those with a grain of salt. Probably look into these tea vendors before you use them. There's a million out there. But for the most part, it seems like for a high-quality 8 Immortals... otherwise known as Dankong Oolong, it goes up for about that price. But I did find it. They're actually not sold out on West China Tea. It was under a different section. I didn't realize. But the smallest size, 10 grams, is $9.99. But as you go up, they are out of the bigger sizes, I guess. But as you go up, it does get a little cheaper. So if you buy more, it is a better value. So that's something to note. If you're really into this type of tea, buy a bigger amount at once. But let's try that second steep. Yeah, it's a very drinkable, nice tea. To me, it is not worth that amount of money at $1 a gram. I feel that's quite pricey. For what I feel is just a pretty solid oolong. Nothing special, doesn't blow my socks off, but definitely not bad. But for me personally, I'm not like I know there's people out there who are huge oolong snobs, super into it. That's all they drink. They go out of their way to find the craziest ones. I'm not one of those people. I enjoy it for what it is. I wouldn't spend ridiculous money on it personally. But it's a solid tea. Can't go wrong with it. It's got the nuttiness. It's got a bit of floral. It's got a bit of very, very, very little bit of fruity. Quite a nice full body. Getting a bit of astringency out of it now, but not too bad. Quite mouth drying. But yeah, decent oolong. I wouldn't rant and rave about it, but I wouldn't say it's bad either. It's pretty. The only thing I don't like about it is the price. At $1 a gram, there's quite a few other teas I've had that were around that much that I would rather have, personally. But everyone's got their own tastes. That's just my preference. Do with that what you will. But from what I saw, a lot of this type of tea were around the same price point. So, yeah, there you go. Also, like I said before, I did see it on Yunnan Sourcing US. So once again, speaking of tariffs, if you are US based, you want to try something that might be similar, at least labeled as the same type of tea, they got it over there. So there you go. Also, they only have one more in stock at the time of me recording this on West China Tea. And a lot of the other sites are sold out of their stock for this type of tea for whatever reason. So I guess it's quite popular. But I think that's all I got. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more tea content. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. See ya.